Assalamu alaikum. Today's my topic is governing the polar region challenges and approaching to promote sustainable development and environmental protection. So, firstly, I saw the introduction. The polar region are not only pristine wilderness of awe-inspiring beauty, but also critical player in regulating our planet's climate. However, these regions are facing formidable challenge that demands our immediate attention. The three key challenges we will explore and achieving sustainable growth, addressing geopolitical unrest, and combating the scaling facts of climate change. The research objective of this presentation are to delve into these issues and propose effective methods for ensuring the sustainable development and protection of these irreplaceable regions. Uh, we must first examine the underlying challenge that undermine the preservation of intact ecosystem in the polar region. My research question is what challenges we can preserving intact ecosystem in polar region and lead unpredictable consequences. As I proceed, I will explore on five major challenges: the impact of climate change, expanding human activities, pollution, habitat loss, and overfishing. Additionally, I will also address the implication of fragmented governance in this region. Now, firstly, we see what's the polar region. So, the polar region are the area between the North and South Pole and the Arctic of Antarctic, as shown in this picture. So, in the Arctic, geopolitics play a significant role influencing the global politics and international relations. And the key feature of this region include extreme cold temperature, permanent ice, heavy glacier, and unique diurnal variation, which the continuous daylight during polar summer and darkness in the polar winter. Now, components of the preserving intact ecosystem. Preserving the delicate polar ecosystem demand a comprehensive approach. I will must address five theoretical components. Climate change, the impact of climate change are far reaching in the polar region, melting ice poses and severe threats leading to habitat loss, changing wildlife distribution, and potential consequences for global sea levels. Expanding human activities, the increasing human presence, driving by tourism, resource extractions, and infrastructure development is placing immense pressure on these sensitive environments. This expanding footprints can disturb wildlife, disrupt ecosystem, and contribute to pollution. Pollution like pollutant, chemical substances, plastics, and oil spills are seeping into the polar water, soils, and air, contaminating this pristine environment. Pollution not only affect wildlife but also poses risk to the human health. Habitat loss, the shrinking of ice sheets and changes in the environmental condition are causing critical habitat for polar species of diminish. This loss of habitat threatens the survival of many iconic creatures like polar bears, penguins, and marine mammals. Overfishing, unsustainable fishing practices disturb the delicate marine food webs in the polar region. Overfishing can lead to imbalance in the ecosystem, impacting not just fish population but also dependent predators. Climate change is a prominent challenge of polar region. The increasing global temperature lead to the melting of polar ice, resulting in rising sea levels and habitat loss of various species. As ice retreats, many animals that rely on ice for breeding and survival face increasing and the life cycles. Furthermore, the ecological change caused by the climate change have ripple effect the entire ecosystem. Change in temperature and ice cover influence the distribution and abundance of species, creating imbalance in the food chain and implicating overall biodiversity. This unpredictable poses changes for policymakers and conservatives as alike as it requires adaptive strategies that can address the unique circumstances of each region. Now, strategies and for sustainable development to address this challenge effectively, we need adopt comprehensive strategies for sustainable development. Firstly, fragmented governance with the multiple national and international agreements involved. Integrate governance and harmonize of policies are critical for effective management and share environmental challenge. Managing geopolitical interests, balancing economic interests with environmental protection is essential for stability and sustainability in the polar region. Diplomacy and cooperation are key is resolving territorial disputes and fostering responsible resource management. Now improving infrastructure and accessibility, investing in research facilities, transportation and communication network will enhance management, scientist research and conservation effort in this remote and challenging region. Now, responsible resource extractions, implementations, strict regulations, and considering the perspective in the indigenous community are vital to ensure responsible resource extraction and minimize the negative impact on the environment. Romantic public engagement, raising awareness, and involving local stakeholders, indigenous communities in the general public will general support of the conservation initiative and foster a sense of responsibility toward the polar region. Now, impact of climate change. Climate change has a profound consequence of the Arctic Ocean. Now, the inadequate conservation affects the harsh and remote Arctic environment poses challenge for implementing effective conservation measures. The extreme weather conditions are vast distance make it difficult for conservations to access and monitor remote areas, limited resources for the hider comprehensive conservation efforts as funding and manpower are often insufficient to cover the vast expanses of the Arctic. Now, expanding human activities.
Okay, Mehak, please you sum up your presentation.
Okay, sir. So, in the conclusion of this, the challenges facing the polar region demands urgent attention. The collab efforts we must come together to promote sustainable development and integrated governance and public engagement by adopting the responsible practices, valuing indigenous knowledge, and engaging the public. We can ensure the resilience of this polar ecosystem in the face of climate change and human activities. Thank you. Hello?
Okay, thank you, Mehak Mubarak. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you, Mehak Mubarak. Any comment, any question? Audience, please.